Climate change is increasing the frequency and severity of extreme weather events. The unpredictable impacts of climate change are devastating lives and livelihoods and causing greater vulnerability for people and communities at risk. Along with increasing our actions to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, we must adapt to our changing climate and the catastrophic disasters it brings. Both climate change adaptation and disaster risk reduction aim to reduce vulnerabilities and losses of at-risk communities. Both are at the core of any effort to enhance climate resilience, which is the ability of a community to resist, adapt, transform, and recover from the effect of weather and climate-related events. The need for greater coherence between climate change adaptation and disaster risk reduction is a priority at international level. Governments must act in line with their obligations under the Paris Agreement and the commitments taken in the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction and the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. As agreed at the International Conference of the Red Cross and Red Crescent in 2019, countries can achieve greater climate resilience by adopting more integrated laws and policies. This is expected to enable more coordination across sectors, reducing duplications, optimizing resources, and improving effectiveness, thereby enhancing the protection of at-risk communities. But this is not an easy task, nor is it a one-size-fits-all solution. New laws and policies must build on local contexts and capacities, addressing local risks, vulnerabilities, and ecosystems. Research by IFRC Disaster Law and the School of Law of University College Cork in countries vulnerable to climate change has resulted in key recommendations on how to integrate climate change adaptation and disaster risk reduction. Countries should adopt laws, policies, and action plans on climate change adaptation, disaster risk reduction, and sustainable development that share the same goals and connect one another. Stronger coordination between ministries, agencies, and local administrations engaged in climate change adaptation and disaster risk reduction is key. Institutions responsible for funding should be involved in climate change adaptation and disaster risk reduction, mainstreaming efforts, and different funding opportunities, including from international actors and private donors, should be jointly considered. Laws and policies on climate resilience should address the poorest and most marginalized sectors of the population, for instance, through adaptive social protection programs and risk transfer systems. To ensure the involvement of local communities, decision-making should build on effective community engagement and transparent consultations with people and civil society organizations. A comprehensive consideration of specific vulnerabilities of people and communities to extreme climate-related events should inform the content of new legislation. The centrality of ecosystems and the improvement of environmental practice should represent a distinctive feature of law and policies on climate resilience, as natural assets must be used sustainably to manage climate and disaster risks.